Everyone, welcome to Tuesday night Dream Team Chat. We are so happy that you are here. We are officially kicking off our Dream Team Chat season, I guess. Obviously, we took a little break for the summer, but we had one a few weeks ago, and that was kind of just like the unofficial kickoff. But now we are starting with the schedule and with some things in mind and bringing you other leader perspectives, and just really diving into like what matters in this season of business, right? So we hope that you can make it. Obviously, if you are not watching live, if you're not here, then these are recorded and on a YouTube page. So we hope that you will watch the replay and that you get something out of it. But we'd love for you to be here with us. Also, I'm distracted by my mess. So if you're distracted by my mess, I am so sorry. There is a whole mess behind me. But anyways, tonight's Dream Team Chat is super special because it is talking about something that me personally, I have struggled with this a lot in my business, just like ups and downs, ebbs and flows. But this is my one like struggle point. Just like across the board. This is what I've always been like, it can be going good or it can be kind of like wishy-washy. And so when I was thinking about what I want to talk about tonight and bringing it to the other people who are going to be talking to you tonight, it was something that I was actually like, I want to talk about sponsoring because that has been something that's been actually pretty amazing for me lately. And so we are going to be bringing you what we've been doing and just some tips and things like that because sponsoring is a big deal in this business. If you are taking that direction for your business, which my assumption is that if you are here, you are looking to dig a little bit deeper in your business, you're looking to do a little bit more, you're looking to grow wider, grow taller, and that requires sponsoring. That requires growing a team. And that shouldn't be a scary thing, but it can be something that you actually have to really invest in. And tips matter, and learning and doing matters. So we're going to share that with you tonight. And to kick us off is my friend, my best SSD friend, Beth. She is here from Team Waxology, and she's going to give you her rundown on her amazing sponsoring history in the last few months. And so I'm going to turn it over to her right now.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks for having me on. And you, speaking of mess, it's really, really bad over here. My chair's covering it. But it says Emmeline Oliver on my screen. It's because my daughter's been doing driver's training virtually, and that's the Zoom account name that popped up. So I'm like, oh, that's my daughter's name. I'm really Beth. Um, so funny you said sponsoring in the last couple of months. What's been working for me? Literally the last 5 days is when I just kicked it in gear, if I'm completely honest with you. Like, let's be honest, I have not sponsored in a year, I think. Like it's been a mess. Okay. I've been in a space and I think we've all felt this, right? Like Bree and I talked about this at SFR. SFR did ignite a fire in me again. I got excited, but then I got home, got busy, and I was like, I got overwhelmed by this. Okay. These aren't all really filled in yet. I'm just making notes of like what's coming, right? Um, but then I had finally had a Facebook party again last week, and this is what ignited it. I had a Facebook party, and I haven't also done a Facebook party in months. Months. I have not done a party. It's just been like random orders that I collect. I mean, I'm a pretty high PRVer for the most part. Like I'll average like 25 to 35 every month. Club definitely helps. But like I got to get back into my partying because that's how we're going to meet people, right? That's how we're going to sponsor. That's how we're going to earn this incentive because sponsoring is required for this incentive, hands down. Um, and so I had this party with someone who I've been talking to for a really, really long time about doing a party. And then I finally said, get this party on the books. So we finally got the party on the books. Um, Actually just welcomed her to our team page today. Her name's Alicia, and a friend that I met because our boys were in school together last year, became Facebook friends, and I had her borrow a warmer, which I still think she has from like 6 months ago, and wax, and she loved it. And she's like, yeah, let's do it. Her party wasn't huge, right? She had a couple really good family orders, and I never really talked to her about the opportunity. And then when we were getting ready to close, I said, hey, what do you think? Like, have you ever considered partnering with Sensi? And I said that too. I didn't say join, I said partnering because that's what we need to like start drilling in, right? And she's like, yeah, actually, that sounds really cool. And she's probably not gonna dig in as much as I do, which is totally fine. And that's the beauty of this business too. I mean, maybe she will, maybe she'll surprise me, but she's like, yeah, we have she works for, I don't know exactly what her job is, but she said like they have these like tribal events every Friday where like people from their tribe can come in and buy things from people who want to sell them. And she's like, that could be a really great thing for the fall. I said 100%. Like you could stock up on fragrance products and it would be a really, really great opportunity for you to get your name out there. But you already know some, your mom loves it, your sisters love it. So even if it's just buying for you, like, let's go. Her order ended up being a $400 party that I flipped to her, and it's a great start, right? Why do I need that PRB? I don't need that. I want her to be blessed with that. And I also did all the calculations too. I think that's an important piece is like, you will make X off this order. Okay. I think that's a nice like push for those people just to hear like, oh, I'm spending this, but I'm going to make this. Okay. So there's example number one. And then NFL was coming out. Okay. Go Detroit Lions. Side note, only NFL team that is sold out. Big Lions fan over here. So I had another customer reach out to me from she lives in Atlanta, but I know her she was an old coworker of my husband's when we lived in Tennessee. And she said, "I want to get this and this large warmer, this and this mini warmer." And I was like, I did the calculation real quick. I said, "Hey, Sonia, this would be so much money for you to spend. Would you like to make this much money back on that order?" I said, "You can literally join for $9 and you can make $81 back on this order that you're giving me." She goes, "That sounds phenomenal." And I said, "And then if you need more gifts for in the at Christmas time, if you want to just keep buying Scentsy for yourself, you're golden. You've got it all set." And she's like, "That sounds great." So she was another join for me and a 300 and some dollar order that got her started, and she joined with $9. Going back to the first join that I talked about, by the way, we did the party flip and she did the hostess join kit, which was amazing. And she paid $18 for her join kit, which is like awesome this month too, because the join kits are so stacked. Um, so again, just the second one, the NFL order one though, is such a good reminder of you have someone that gives you any order, really, any order. You can turn it into a joint opportunity or a partner opportunity. But especially those big ones, turn that around. I mean, get them on board, especially if with this $9 join special. Like that's amazing. Partner with for $9 and then this is X you can make back. That's a great opportunity. So there's that one. And then tomorrow I'm excited because I'm having coffee with an old coworker of mine. I have a part-time job at Orange Theory Fitness and I'm like a front desk sales associate. And I had a really fun coworker. She doesn't work there anymore, but I have Scentsy in Orange Theory in the lobby, of course, because I want to make it smell good. And I just provide all of those things. I have fragrance flowers in the front. I have a quad in our lobby that I keep stocked with pods. It's a conversation starter. I've gotten tons of business from our members of our gym because they want to know why it smells so good in there. I have fragrance flowers in the bathrooms. It's just a great conversation starter, and I'm happy to provide all that for my gym because I want to be able to. Yeah, I'm live on a Zoom. So can you get the dog out? Thank you. This is real life. Okay, you're good. Okay. There's Emma. Anyway, so needed lock on the door. So anyway, that is such a great opportunity to get in front of new customers. And she knew that I sold Scentsy and she's like, I need to get your stuff. I need to smell your stuff. So she ended up placing an order for a warmer and wax. And she is 22 years old, still in college, just got married. And she got her stuff and she was telling me how much she loved it. And then I was like, Beth, why don't you ask her what she thinks? And who do we want on our teams? We want this age on our teams, right? We want to get those Gen Xers because they're the ones who are going to be growing with Scentsy right now. So, I wrote her and I was like, "You are loving this stuff. I'm so glad you are." And what really turned me on to ask her is she said, "Get ready because I'm going to be sending you more orders for Christmas. Like, I have to get all of this for my family. I have to get it for my friends. What perfect Christmas gift. So get ready for more orders." And I was like, "Oh, by the way, her husband's also a realtor." Perfect. Um, and I said, "Olivia, we need to talk." I said, "Would you ever consider partnering and, you know, doing this with me, like doing this alongside me? And, you could do your own purchases. You could totally do closing gifts for Ryan, your husband. You could buy all your Christmas gifts and just get money back on it. She goes, let's talk about that. So we're meeting for coffee tomorrow. I don't know if anything's going to happen, but I'm kind of guessing she's going to want to do it because why not? We'll see what we do if we have a party, what we're going to do. But the moral of the story is I've not been asking. I've not been doing it, and I haven't done it for over a year. Okay. I'm one of those people, and I'll admit it, this type of stuff comes around, then I get motivated again, right? Which is not a good way to be. I know we need to be sponsoring year round. I know. But let's be honest, these things motivate us. I am motivated by trips. That is my why. The trips are my why, 100%. Um, so I have a fire under me again just in the last 5, 6 days because I'm like, oh my gosh, people are saying yes. It's not all no's out there. People are saying yes to the opportunity, and it's still an amazing opportunity. And since he's giving us so many ways for people to say yes, whether it's $9 up to making an amazing, huge kit if somebody can afford it. I also have a home party set up next month for a woman who already plans to join. We're just waiting because she's like, I'm ready to join now, but her home party isn't till like September 12th, and I want her to earn the shooting star. So I'm like, you can't join until this exact date because she has orders she wants to place already. I'm like, I don't want to sabotage that because I want her to get that shooting star. So I'm like, if you join on this exact date, and then we make sure we close your party right after the home party. So I'm gonna have another one. And with everybody that you bless with this opportunity, you're blessing yourself too, because these stars are coming star after star. When you have these new people join, they go active, and then they certify, and then what if they continue to grow and they bless other people with the business too? So um I was just excited when Bree came up with this idea for the chat because I'm actually inspired to sponsor again. So I'm excited. I hope that maybe gave you a few ideas just to kind of get out of your comfort zone. And even with those orders that you're like, man, but I want that PRV, give up the PRV and give it to someone else.
Oh my gosh, so good, Beth. So good. And you hit on so much of what I wanted to add. And so now I can just be like, you heard Beth. Like that's exactly what's working. Thank you so much, Beth, for sharing. I might circle back to you in a minute. Um, Incredible, incredible, right? And this is stuff that we have talked about previously about ways to have these conversations. And yeah, she's so right. Like incentive time comes around and we're like, all right, we're gonna sponsor during this time, right? But it can't be just during incentive periods. It's actually a lot of these stories that you're talking about are seeds that you had planted before, though, right? It's people who were buying from you or people who you've been around and are familiar with Scentsy. And so we can't take the planting of seeds for granted, but if it's not followed up with an ask and sometimes a bold ask, or sometimes a sacrificial ask where you're like, I'm willing to give you this PRV. I'm willing for you to take it so that you can get paid. Like all of that has to be taken into account. But man, it does light your fire. Like there is nothing like having people join under you and multiple people, right? And how awesome that in the last week Beth has had so many people join and it's literally just a change of behavior. Right? And obviously that's not that might not be everybody's situation, but with just a simple switch, so much can change. Okay, I want to share with you Erica Turnquest. I'm not great at saying her last name, but she is a literal angel. She came to SFR this year. She's under Tammy. We love Tammy. Erica is a light. She is a joy. She's one of the most incredible human beings I have ever met in my entire life. I'm not even exaggerating. She is just a ray of light. She has been, I told her, I said, you either need to be on tonight to share your tidbit or you send it to me if you can't be on, because I've just been getting emails constantly saying that she's recruiting people. And that was not the case prior to SFR. So just in the last couple of weeks, this has been the case for her. And so I asked her to send me what she's been doing so I can share it with you guys. It's very similar to Beth's in terms of what she's doing and what she's looking for. So this is Erica's spiel on her sponsoring. She said, it has been so simple. Okay. I really haven't felt like I'm recruiting or even trying that hard to sponsor. I have just been showing people the value in the kit, which is what Beth said. Our kits are stacked right now. Who knows what they're going to be like next month? But with the quad and pods being involved in every single kit but the $9 kit, that's incredible. And pointing out how much amazing product they're getting for the price of something they were probably going to buy anyways. It's basically been you're already about to spend this much on Scentsy. Why not spend 49 with a $350 in value and get all of this instead? And you have the opportunity to earn something back on the things you already love. You're offering it to them. They're already spending money with you. I think the biggest thing for me has been keeping it super casual and making it make sense for them. And she like italicized that, which I think is so smart, right? You're looking at it through their eyes and saying, how does this benefit me? Because they may not see the big benefit of a trip or, huge paychecks or, whatever you can put whatever end you want on that sentence. But in that moment, what can they look at and say, oh, yeah, that actually benefits me, right? No pressure about building a business or even selling a ton, just showing them that becoming a consultant can literally start with getting a crazy good deal on products they already want. And then if they fall in love with sharing it too, even better. Short, sweet, simple, right? We love that. We love that. That's amazing. And it totally is a lot of what Beth just said. And so Erica doubled down on it. I'm about to triple down on it. I have a lot of that wrapped up in what I want to tell you, but you know me, I like to give you some realistic, tangible things to just kind of chew on because I recognize that maybe some people will be like, why? Why sponsor? Like if I don't think I'm going to earn this trip or I'm not interested in earning a trip or whatever the case may be, why should I be sponsoring? Okay. And so there's a few things that I just want to share with you, put a little bug in your ear. Prefacing all of this by saying, you don't have to sponsor if you don't want to. If this is a business that you just want to sit back, enjoy, make a little bit of money, share what you love, use it in your home, use it to gift, whatever the case may be, that is okay. Every type of business is welcome. Okay. But if you're on the fence and you've been thinking about it, but you need a good reason to, hopefully I have covered it here. So, one of the big things that I believe is important for why we sponsor is a shared belief excites you and it excites people around you. And what I mean by that, I'm going to give you a great example. I think it's a great example. Um, Going to a concert. Okay, I've been to a couple concerts recently, all right? And if you've ever been to a concert, think of the best concert you've ever been to. And I every time I go to a concert, there is a moment where I'm like, totally taken aback by the entire room being in the same place at the same time, singing the same song out loud, crazy, not a care in the world. Everybody is just in that moment, just loving life, singing the same song. And I think what a miracle that is. How cool is that that we're all here singing the same song, right? But it's like everybody's excited for the most part. Everybody's excited. Everybody's like so full of joy. We're all like best friends because we're all enjoying this experience together. Right. And so that shared experience, that shared belief of like, we all wanted to come to this concert because we think this person's worth it and we love their music. That is exciting. That can be extremely motivating, right? Concerts are addicting. There's people who go to every single concert of a certain artist or whatever because it's like addicting to be in that room, to see that person. It's like, it's a full experience that's motivating. And in this business, having that a part of your business brings longevity. And I don't like to think of it as like chasing a high or chasing something, but it brings this continued renewed joy and experience because each person you sponsor is not like the person before, right? That's a whole different person with a whole different set of goals, with a whole different mindset, with, their own lifestyle, their own, life behind them and before them. And so it's like you're meeting somebody new and you're getting to know them, and that experience that you're having with them is totally different. And so it's a really cool journey to go on with people. And for me, and I think for a lot of other people, that shared experience of like bringing people into this world and sharing it with them and letting them take off and letting them chase their dreams with Scentsy is so extremely motivating. So there's one reason. Maybe that's not touching it though. Maybe you're like, that I don't care about that. Um, the next reason is building something bigger than yourself. Okay. It is it is okay to be in this space and to be soaking it up, but there is something to be said for looking at a team, right? Every day when I get on the team page or I open up my workstation and I'm looking at all these names, it's like these aren't all just names. These are people with all these dreams and things like that. And it's like this is something much bigger than me, right? If I were to, God forbid, fall off tomorrow, the face of the earth, not Scentsy, because I'm not leaving Scentsy, but fall off the face of the earth tomorrow, this business would go on without me and all of you would be experiencing this business without me, and that's much bigger than me. That's This business is much bigger than I am. And the people that I've touched and the people that I have underneath me, my front line and my friends that I've made here, it's like that all goes beyond what I could do. I can't do that alone. I can't experience all this alone. If I was doing that alone, I'd be talking to myself at my computer right now, talking to nobody, and that's just not fun. So you're expanding beyond your own capabilities with this business. And financially, that means financially, incentive wise, right? That might be like open doors to things that you've never experienced before or dreams you never thought possible. Like, that's a big deal. Okay. So this business could unlock a lot of things that go much further than that like you could do on your own, right? Wonderful. All right. Maybe that's not touching anybody. The last point that I want to make with why we sponsor is if you've ever gone to a restaurant with people, friends, family, whatever, and you order something off the menu and nobody's ever had it before, you've never had it before, and you're like, this sounds really good. It looks good on Yelp, because that's what I always do is I look at Yelp before I order it. And it arrives and you take a bite and you're like, oh my God, this is the most amazing steak and shrimp I've ever had in my life. Like, hands down, came perfectly. You got to try this, right? Who's a sharer when things are really good? My husband is that way. And sometimes I'm not about it, but like, he really loves to share what he loves. He's like, take a bite, take a bite. It's so good, right? And that's just like our nature. We don't even think about it. We're like, I think this is amazing. You have to try it too. That's our business. That's our business. We have something so amazing, so good. Why are we not sharing it? You want, you should want to share it with others. But I understand why it's scary, and I understand why we don't share it, which is why we have the problem, the hiccup in the road, or the the reason why we don't share it. We have those, and I get that. But understand that because we have this really great thing that can do really great things that go far beyond what we could ever do by ourselves, I think that it's worth sharing, that it's worth talking about. And not just to people face to face inside of a conversation, but it should be something that is clear as day to somebody who may not even know you, right? So when I'm at my coffee job and I wear a Scentsy shirt or a Scentsy hat or whatever, people ask me about it, and when they ask me, oh, are you a Scentsy consultant? Or I mention something about Scentsy or whatever, I'm making sure I'm alive in my conversation and I'm animated and I'm excited because I love my business. I love my business so much, right? And I want people to be able to see that and hear that in the way that I talk about Scentsy. I want them to be able to see that on my social media, that like this is a business that I love and I care about it. And I'm sharing it, not always just to sponsor somebody. I'm sharing it because I want you to know I freaking love my business, right? And I want you to experience that too, whether that's as a customer or partnering with me, right? Yeah. And Joanne said things are always better when they're shared. And it blesses you too, right? So sharing it to sponsor is great because it blesses that person and it does bless your business as well. But also as consultant to customer, sharing it, that's so much fun. You all have experienced that where you've shared Scentsy with somebody, they bought something from you and they love it. And it's like, "Oh, I'm so glad that you love it. Like, I love it too." That shared experience is so powerful. But let's address the elephants in the room, okay? The problems with why this tends to fall off or this doesn't always happen the way that we want, because we can be excited and we can know about the shared belief and we can know that we're expanding our business and we have a gift and all these things, but I don't feel like it, right? So I think these are the things that I think that I've seen in myself, definitely in myself first, okay? But then I've also heard. Um, the first one is we've complicated it. We have made sponsoring so complicated. And by we, I mean me. And by we, I also mean Scentsy. Scentsy had a hand in making it feel kind of complicated in some ways, and they're working on it. They are working on it. Whatever, we have brought things to the table, and I believe that the onboarding process and what sponsoring looks like in terms of ease is going to look drastically different in the next couple of years, and I'm so excited about it. But we have control over a lot of that. Okay? We have let systems or lack thereof keep us from offering the opportunity. We've taken this opportunity and then imploded it from the inside out by creating so many systems our heads spin, right? Or not having anything and it falls flat, or just not doing it at all because it feels uncomfy, because it feels complicated. And I hear you, but that's why we're talking tonight because we have ways around this. Okay, I'm not going to solve every problem in this conversation right here, but we've complicated it, and I recognize that I myself have complicated it, and I feel like we have brought things to the table for you guys that have maybe further complicated it. We don't want to do that anymore. The second problem that I see is we have a fear about our own capabilities as a leader. We're like, I don't know the ins and outs of this business. I don't think I'd be a good leader. I don't really have the time that you think you need to lead. And so we don't offer it. Or recently, in the last couple of years, I've heard this talked about a lot and I understand it, is we have a fear about Scentsy stability. Where's Scentsy going to be? What's happening? It doesn't feel right. A bunch of people are leaving. Top leaders are leaving. And I get that. I understand. Some of those top leaders are my friends, still are my friends. So I understand. I get that. And that's a problem. And that's a real problem that we have to look at and we have to examine. But at the end of the day, that's only something that you can wrestle with, right? Because I can give you all of the encouragement and I can give you all of the information and all of the facts that I have. But you yourself have to decide if you are going to let fear run your business or if you're going to have faith, right? And that has been something that has been wrestled with among many people, and that's okay. That's your own personal journey, but I know that's what stopped people from inviting people in. It's because they just don't know. I don't know how to be a leader. Lots of people didn't know how to be a leader before they became a leader, you know? And then the last problem is a lack of desire um, to even sponsor people. And the thing is that, like I said in the beginning, prefacing this with, we need all kinds of businesses here. We need the hobbyist who only buys for themselves and shares it with their friends and family and has no interest in doing anything else. We need those people. If you are those people, we love you. You have a place here. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And also not talking to you with all due respect, with so much love. But this isn't the conversation for you because if that's not your desire, that's totally okay. That's totally okay. And if should you ever change your mind, this door is always open, right? Those people exist and they exist with purpose and there is good places for them in this business. But there is what I believe to be a vast majority of Sensi consultants who have the ability, the capability, and the capacity to expand their business when it comes to sponsoring because they're already doing things in their business that look a lot like a director or a mentor or, whatever. They already are doing things that look like that. And let me be very clear, the moment you sponsor your first person, you're a leader. Every person that comes after that is continued growth on your part on how to be a better leader, right? We just continue to get better. We just continue to learn. We just continue to expand. It's like having multiple children. You have one and you think, how could I ever love another baby as much as I love this one? I don't have any more room in my heart, right? And then you have another baby and you're like, oh my gosh, how do I love two babies this much, the same amount, but differently, right? That's leadership. That's leadership in this business in terms of there's always room for more, right? There's always capacity to expand. But make no mistake, the moment that you bring on one person, you're a leader. You're a leader. You are going to be doing the things that look no different than what I'm doing with however many people I have on my team. So the lack of desire either swings two ways. You're either a hobbyist and that's your lane, or you're talking yourself into being afraid of something that you shouldn't be afraid of, that we need to work through. We need to walk through why there is a nervousness there or why there is a block. Okay. And that comes down to a lot of things. That can be a wide range of reasons why. And my solution, my three-step solution, I hope will hit on some of those. Give me just one second. So three-step solution this is the stuff that I've been doing, much like Beth, with just literally asking. It's amazing what happened when we ask. Because, like Beth, up until SFR, I had not actually sponsored somebody in a while. I don't know how long it had been. I feel like I had like popcorn sponsored people here and there, but it was not something that was consistent. It was not something that I was focused on. It might have happened accidentally, but it just wasn't my focus. And that's okay. I was focusing on other parts of my business. But now I'm locked in. And after SFR, I was locked in. I said, okay, I'm changing the way that I'm doing things, and I'm just going to share this like it's going out of style. Okay. So, again, piggybacking off of what Beth said, I am creating spaces to have those conversations, right? Happens at parties, happens on Facebook parties, happens in a work environment. Okay. Sponsoring people is not something that's going to fall into your lap. Very rarely does somebody come to you and say, hey, I'm begging, please send me your link. I need to join right this minute. Where have you been all my life? Okay. I've never had anybody do that to me in 9 years. Um, actually, actually, funny story, and it's so relevant, but my boss at the coffee shop texted me like a week ago and was like, hey, I actually think I want to join Sensi. I need some extra income for some stuff that's coming up. I had never talked to her about joining. She's bought a couple things from me, like never. So in a blue moon, it might happen, okay? But like 99.9% of the time, you are going to have to create the space to have those conversations. And you have to be like eyes wide open. And that has to be your mindset. Okay. It is like literally, we've talked about the legs. Oh, is it the legs of success? And it's like PRV, hosting, and joining, and then personal. Okay. People have to fall into those three categories. You're either going to be my customer and I'm going to take great care of you. You're going to be my host. I'm going to take great care of you. Or you are going to join my team and we're going to do this together and I'm going to take great care of you. Okay. But you have to create the space. With that being said, there's prep work involved there, right? This is not something that you just lay back casually, because when you lay back casually and during non-incentive months, I know Beth can attest to this too. During non-incentive months, it's not that we're not necessarily asking, but it's very like nonchalant. It's fine if it happens, fine if it doesn't, whatever. I'm just throwing it out. And it's not, we don't have our eyes open to it, right? There's prep work involved. There's forefront conversations. Beth mentioned, I did the math real fast and I said, hey, you could get this much back with spending this much. You do a party, you had talked to her, here's your total. If you join, this is what you get. Okay. Hosting a party, having an open house, offering to host a party for somebody or do a home party for somebody, right? All of that is prep work that you have to do. Okay. Um, Something else that I did that I talked about on the team page was doing, I did, what are they called? Um, PR packages. So I did this really weird thing on social media because I'm feeling so inspired by social media lately. I'm on a roll with like seeing something and I'm like, I'm gonna recreate that, whatever. And I saw somebody, a business, small business, and it said business so small. If you send this reel back to me, I might send you a PR package. I'm like, I can do that. When I did it, when I created the reel, I kid you not, I had no idea what I was going to send in this PR package. And I was like racking my brain, asking Chat GPT, like, what do I send that's cost effective, that I don't have to go out and buy anything. I don't want to buy anything, right? I want to use what I have at home, like one product. What can I put in it that feels nice, right? Chat GPT helped me narrow it down. It was mostly paper products, catalog, inserts, a couple samples, did samples for the first time in a very long time. Okay. Did samples. I sent a scent circle, cute little note, threw some stickers in there. That was it, right? Um, okay. And what I did is I created a Google form. So when they sent me the reel back, I sent them the Google form. They filled it out. On that Google form, I said a scale of 1 to 5. How interested are you in getting free Scentsy? 1 to 5. How interested are you in making money with Scentsy? 1 to 5. I had 9 people fill out the form. Out of all of those 9 people, not a single one was below 3 on either of those questions. Majority of people were at a 5, both of those questions. So I'm like, okay. So I didn't send all the PR packages at once because my bank account could not handle that pirate ship bill at the moment. But what I did was I sent those out, waited a few days till they got them, and then I followed up with them, right? Or I told them that they had a text or tag me in their stuff, which most of them did. Um, but then when I followed up with them, I was like, oh, hey, by the way, I saw on your Google form that you said that you were interested. I bypassed the party part altogether. Um, I saw that you were interested in making money with Scentsy. Like, is that something that you are still want to do? Because like we can do that right now. One girl didn't get the PR package; they delivered it to the wrong address. So I was like, "Oh, girl, I'm so sorry. I'll send you a new one." And then I was sitting here thinking, I was like, "Wait a second." She answered a 5. So I wrote her and I was like, "Actually, I'll send you a partner package. I don't know what I'm going to do there, but I'll send you a partner package and you answered a 5. How interested are you in joining? Because it's $9, right? And then you'll get Scentsy. Like, I'll send you something in the mail, but why don't you just partner with me?" She joined today. She joined today. One other girl who got her package, loved her stuff, joined a couple days ago. Listen, listen. It might take a little bit of out of the box thinking. Okay. Social media can be such an inspiration. And if you are not on social media, if you are not creating the space on your social media, which is the second part of creating the space, that prep work also looks like sharing your business out loud wherever you are. So if you're in person more often than you're online, cool. Share it out loud there. If you're online more than you're in person, you better be sharing it out loud on there. Okay? Your social media is a free networking opportunity. My Instagram, for whatever reason, I'm not sharing Scentsy like I used to on my Instagram. I am sharing Scentsy almost daily, but not like I used to. Okay. I'm doing mostly reels because reels are what's kicking it right now on Instagram. Okay. And my Scentsy reels may not be getting that much traction. However, My other reels are, and guess what people see when they follow me? My Scentsy stuff. Okay. So at some point, this is my prepping. At some point, I'm going to bag as many people as possible. And I know that because all of the people who I'm trying to think, no, aside from one person, 8 out of the 9 people who I sent PR packages to, or 7 people that I sent PR packages to, had never bought Scentsy from me before. Some of them didn't even know what Scentsy was, or never had Scentsy. They never had Scentsy. Because that was a question on my Google form. But I had never talked to them about Scentsy. I had never sent them anything. They've never bought from me. So these were brand new people who I got Scentsy under their nose. Okay. So again, the prep work, the creating the space might be asking people to borrow your testers, right? I did that. I post one of my neighbors asked for some catalogs. I said, you know what? I got catalogs to spare. Posted on my neighborhood page. Who wants some catalogs? I'm dropping off tonight. I'll send you catalogs and some scent stickers. I got like 6 people. 2 days later, I had $330 in orders from my neighborhood. People who had never bought from me. I don't even know some of these people. Who wants catalogs dropped off? Easy. Okay. I am going back to basics in all things, but especially sponsoring, especially getting new customers. I'm going back to basics. I'm getting Scentsy under people's noses. I'm getting Scentsy in front of them, whether that's on the phone or in person. Okay. Booked a party with one of my neighbors because of that. One of my other neighbors might reinstate her account and join under me because of that. We have to be creating the space for people to even have the opportunity to like be asked, right? You're not going to go knock, knock, knock on people's door and be like, hey, do you want to join Scentsy? But if you give them a catalog and they smell it and they love it and they see all these things that they want, boom, now you've created the space that you can have the conversation. Okay. Um, okay. Um, the next solution. This is going to be really far reach. I understand, but just stay with me. Inviting people to this business as much as possible. That's not crazy. That's really not crazy. We're just not doing it. We're just not. Whether, here's the thing. Here's my mindset now. I am going for the ask at the end of a conversation. The worst thing somebody can do is say no and stay my customer. And in the end, I still win, right? It's still a win. My favorite thing to do is to take people who have never bought Scentsy from me before, but they want to buy Scentsy, so they're giving me an order and ask them then. Because to me, I'm not losing anything, right? Because I haven't taken their money. They have not technically become a customer of mine yet. They're trying to, but I'm saying, whoa, 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 hold on, wait. You want stuff? You love Scentsy? Why don't you just join? $9. $9, you get that on your own account, you get paid back on it, exactly what Beth said. You do the quick math, boom, flip it. That's my favorite thing to do. So, example of that, one of my coworkers, another Gen Z, I had my friend Hannah, who's a coworker of mine, Gen Z, decide to join. And by the way, business eyes, she was like liking and loving all of my Scentsy things on Instagram, like all of my stories and stuff, liking, loving, and I just like was noticing, and I was like, okay. So then I had said something, and she loved it, and I just messaged her, and I was like, girl, you should just do this with me. Like you'd be so good at it. Like you're so cute, and you take cute pictures and like whatever. And she's like, oh my gosh, yeah, maybe I should. Okay. So then I talked to her about it. We chatted a little bit. She joined. I helped her host her launch party at her apartment. Shooting star. Amazing. $500 in that one party. Okay. My other coworker came to that party. Cool. We're chit-chatting, whatever. This Saturday, she goes, so, tell me more about Scentsy. Like, what do you gotta do? Whatever. And I'm like, oh, to join? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I started telling her she's gonna join tonight. Guys, guys, literally asking as many people as possible. Every conversation should be you considering asking. Like, the worst that can happen is they say no and stay your customer. The absolute worst. Or for the person who's not your customer yet, the worst they can do is go, no, I'd just rather support you. Cool, girl, I'll take your money. Yeah, I'm going to make you feel so great as a customer. No problem. Truly asking as many people as possible. Okay, last thing. Last thing. Hold on. I need water. Sharing the opportunity. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm trying to avoid just saying sharing the opportunity. Why? Because that gives no frame of reference of how much, how often, whatever. You could ask somebody one time in the next 6 months and be like, "Well, I shared it." Or make a post on Facebook and go, "Well, I shared it." No, I'm saying ask as many people as possible. Turn every single conversation into an ask. The worst that can happen is they say no and say your customer. The absolute worst. Because I'm not talking about cold messaging people. Do not do that. I am not talking about knocking on people's doors. Don't do that. I am talking about people who are in your circle, whether they are bringing you an order of Scentsy or not. If you see a need, see an opportunity to insert Scentsy as a solution to a problem that they're having, why not? Those are the opportunities you should be taking. Booking parties, coworkers, friends, neighbors, circles, whatever. Okay, third thing, maybe most important thing, because I feel like a lot of us here have sponsored people, have been familiar with this process. But I know that we've all struggled with and maybe currently are struggling with, what does the conversation look like past the point of asking, right? How do I avoid word vomit? How do I not get wrapped up in all the things that they need to do and the goals and blah, 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 blah. I get it. I get it. And this is going back to why our systems have been overcomplicated, right? And even if the workstation and all of the goals and all of the stuff that Sensi still has in place feels complicated, we can't change any of that right now. But you have to remember, when somebody joins, they don't see all of that. They're tunnel visioned. They're like, okay, I just pressed join. Okay, I just got my email. Okay, I see the workstation. Okay, now what? Right? Your job is to point them to that next thing. The next thing. They don't need to know about sensational start level 1, 2, 3. They don't need to know about reporting tabs. They don't need to know about the news tab right now. For the next 30, 60 days, I'm their news tab. The team page is their news tab. Okay, I'm okay with that. Right now, what is the most important thing? And especially if you are asking somebody to join and they say yes because you've offered them the opportunity at extra income, what should be the very first thing that you are telling them to do? Trying to get that extra income, right? The first two things, no, well, no, I do it one step at a time. This goes back to walking with the walkers, running with the runners. Cool. So glad that you joined. I'm so excited. I'm going to add you to the team page. Did you get your email? They respond, yes, got my email. Cool. Did you get logged into your workstation? Yes, no, whatever. Okay, get logged into your workstation. I want you to go to that orders tab. Then you're going to say create a party. Then you're going to name it so-and-so's launch party. And then you're just going to fill out that information, go step by step. It's going to walk you through it. Okay, fill in all that. And then I want you to copy, or then I say, tell me when you're done with that. Okay, cool. They've done that. Cool. Okay, they come back. All right, now I want you to copy that link and I want you to go to your social media, all your social medias. I want you to post a selfie of you or a Scentsy warmer that you have or anything. And I want you to say, hey, I've just partnered with Scentsy. This is why I partnered with them. I'd love if you supported me. We have fall special right now. This is my shopping link, and share it. Tell me when you're done with that. Okay? That is their ticket. That's all they need to know in order to make money right off the bat, right? They need orders. And then once they do that, I say, tell me when you're done with that. Cool, you've done that. Okay, now I want you to go to your phone and I want you to text your friends, your best friends. I want you to text your mom. I want you to text your closest circle of people. The first 20 people that come to mind, I want you to text them right now. And I want you to say, hey, mom, cool thing. I just partnered with Scentsy. I think that you'd really love this, blah, 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 whatever. I want you to send your link to those people. And I want you to tell them why you've joined and send it to them. Why? Because that's how you make money. Okay? We can deal with everything after that. If they join with the $9 kit, I say, Cool. Okay. So if you do $500, our first goal is $500 in the first 15 days. I'll give you two good reasons why we should do that. One, you'll make this much back after you sell 500, right? That's just bare minimum, sell 500. Also, you're going to get this kit completely free, all of this product. And for people who join for $9, that is so enticing. $350 or however much the shooting star kit is worth for free. That girl who just joined because of that PR package today, she was like, okay, yeah, I'll join for $9. I was like, okay, she's like, can I go back and get another starter kit later if I want one? I said, we have some discounted bundles, but honestly, let's go for this. All you have to do is sell $500 in the first 15 days. All you have to do. Not a big deal. We can do that. You'll get all of this for free. She goes, oh, hell yeah. Like, I'm going for that. I'm going to bust my butt to sell this fragrance. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Right? And this is how much you'll make when you do that. Okay? Baby steps. The key is in the join conversation, because I think this is where a lot of people misstep the word vomit part. Do not answer questions that are not asked. You don't need to tell them about the compensation plan. You don't need to tell them about the sensational starts. Only answer the questions that are asked. And if you're trying to entice them, you tell them, hey, or one of the girls said, what does this entail? Like, how would I share this? And I said, or how would I sell? I said, if you're comfortable sharing on the internet things that you love and you don't mind reaching out to some of your people and collecting orders, things of that nature, you're going to do just fine. That's what it takes, right? Because once that stuff happens, they're going to feel motivated to keep going and they're going to want to know more and they're going to want to learn more, right? I want them in the door doing the next right thing, whatever's going to get them to the next right step that they want to be on, right? Only asking questions that they ask and also giving them a 30,000 foot above view of what's going to happen, right? They don't need the details right now. They don't need to know everything right now. You can give them bite-sized pieces. Once they've digested that, once they've gotten into the workstation, once they've gotten their first couple of orders, I'm going to walk them through everything that they need to know after that. One step at a time. The more steps that they take with you, the more information you can feed them. It's not a race. We're not in a rush, right? As fast as you go, that's as fast as I go. You want to take 3 days setting up your party link? Cool. I'm going to reach out to you all 3 days, but that's fine. That's cool. The process doesn't need to be rushed and it doesn't need 100% of the information. Okay. So the solutions, creating the space, inviting as many people as possible, one step at a time. Those are the three things that I am doing. Those are the three things that have gotten me like 8 recruits, some of them reinstatements, but like 8 recruits in the last month. The most I've done in a couple of years. So I believe with all my heart that with intention and doing the work on the front end, all of this is possible for every single person who desires to grow a team. But it does take intention and it does looking at things differently. It can't just be looking for my next PRV, my next sale, my next party, and getting all this PRV and getting all these customers, right? It becomes an outward look of, okay, this person has all of these people who want to show up for her. I'm about to make her a very happy consultant. Okay. So I hope that this conversation with Beth, with me, with Erica, her testimony, I hope all of this brought some things to the forefront that you can chew on and you can work with. And I hope it was simplified enough to be tangible. Because this is what we're going to be working on this month and through September is sponsoring. So on the team page and maybe in the next Dream Team chat or something, we might be continuing this conversation in different ways because this is of the utmost importance. We need to be growing. We need to be growing. If that's our desire, we need to be growing. Scentsy needs to be growing. So that's what I want for you. That's what I want for me. That's what I want for us. And I'm so excited to see you guys on the next one.